Greetings, it's Vaygrim. It is 1:30, and I'm tired. I'm very tired. I have videos for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the second channel. The main series, Dragon Age and Dishonored and Transistor, I have them all scheduled and uploaded already. I have footage for tomorrow and Thursday for Skyforge class videos already recorded. I need to edit them and upload them. I actually got Forgecraft 2 recorded today, and thought I wasn't for a minute, but I did. I got it recorded and uploaded today. I already know and have started working on what I'm going to work on for Vaygrim's Chance tomorrow. So I think I'm actually getting back to the point where I'm back on schedule and ahead of the curve for once. And for once in a while. Yeah. It has generally been a very good day for me. Very, very productive. I have these points where, like a lot of the games I'm playing right now, like Dishonored, okay? You cannot record 20 minutes, save, stop, and then go edit it. It's very disjointed. It's very jarring. You have to record multiple episodes. You have to record multiple parts. So you can sit in the game for an hour or two and kind of absorb it and get into the rhythm. It smooths things out. So you'll see in episodes, you'll see these kind of like bumps where it's like at the beginning of a batch, I will be kind of clunky and rusty. And then suddenly I'll swing up, the skill level will swing up a little bit. I get back into the rhythm of things. I get stealthier and stealthier and stealthier. Then I have to stop recording. And it drops off and goes back again. So it's kind of like it's a weird thing. But I did that a lot with Bioshock Infinite, because Bioshock Infinite, you really got into the storyline. You got into the feel for like aiming and moving and et cetera, and you really got into the rhythm and the pace of things. And you didn't want to just, record 20 minutes, stop, save it and stop, much less it wouldn't let you, but you couldn't. Bioshock was the same way. Bioshock 1, you really got into the storyline and you started exploring the world and you really just don't want to leave. Transistor is especially that way. You don't want to just walk away. So you really don't want to just walk away from it. You don't want to just record 20 minutes and then drop it. It's very weird. It makes the game feel very disjointed. So you want to get into the rhythm of things. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of the curve on the second channel. First channel, by this time, you guys would have seen 2 episodes of Grimco Construction, working on the headquarters with the guys. We're still figuring out how we're going to record, like getting the pace and the rhythm of recording so we all have the same number of episodes. The first recording batch ended up coming out kind of disjointed because I didn't record the same amount as they did because I'm used to stopping and starting during some of the dead points. Yeah. So that was a little weird, but we're getting better about that. I think we're just going to set a timer. I'm going to do it the same way that Bentley and Teddy used to do it. They just recorded everything on about a 20 or 18 or 20 minute timer, something like that. And when the timer goes off, they do a joint wrap up, stop recording, and then determine if they want to do stuff off camera or start another episode again. And I think we're going to do the same thing. I think it's a good system, and I think it'll work for us. That way, things will seem a bit smoother. Anyway. I've had a lot of positive feedback on that series. A lot of people are very excited about its potential. I already have our first guest architect lined up. It's going to be Rorax from Forgecraft. Rorax is very eager, but kind of confused because she's not sure what she wants to build, what project she wants to put us towards. And that's the hard part. You have creative. I'm giving you the reins on things. The world is your oyster, so to speak. And people kind of lock up and they don't know what to do. So, Rorax is going to be our first guest architect, and I cannot wait for that to kick off. I think it's going to be a really good thing. But that's still a couple weeks off. Sice. A lot of people have said, dude, you need to have Sice on the actual series. I will invite him, but I need to coordinate times, and because he has his day job, and that's going to be the hard part. And I already have Rorax on the list first, so we're still talking a couple of weeks off. But I definitely want to have Sice on the series because Really, the first big server that I stepped on that had really big, talented builders was the Resonant Rise server. And when I kicked off on there, one of the first bases that I logged into, I walked into spawn, and there was this kind of weird, disjointed set of houses that belonged to Kieran Dave. He was busy. And then there was a portal system. And Seiss stepped on, and he invited me to come over to see his base. And his base was laggy as hell, but that was a mod he was using. But it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. He built in an origin biome, and he had this amazing pyramid structure thing, and there was stuff, and there were buildings, and it was just awe-inspiring. Very cool. And then Aiko the Builder was on the same server. I would love to have Aiko on the series at some point, but I don't know if he Minecrafts anymore, if at all. I'm not sure. I think he kind of retired. Bebo, I want to get on the series because Bebo actually does some really good building. I think it could be really, really fun to kind of, sit down, just talk, shoot the breeze, and see how things go. And yeah, I think it's going to be really, really good. I do think there's going to be some people. I'm not going to need Preacher and Shadow every single episode, every single project. It's going to be some projects that are going to be smaller, some that are going to be bigger, but they know this. It's okay. We'll roll with it. But for right now, first guest is going to be Rorax. And once we cross that bridge, then I'll start addressing who's going to be next. Let's see. Forgecraft 2 is probably going to be wrapping up here in a couple of weeks. There is a rumor in the grapevine that at the beginning of August, itchy nose, at the beginning of August, there's going to be a reset of Forgecraft 2 and Forgecraft 1. Forgecraft 1 currently has Agrarian Skies 2 on it, and nobody's been playing it for months. Between some bugs and some pack updates that remove mods and then added other mods, I think some people kind of hit burnout on that, and some of the teams had there were mixed teams where 2 people wanted to play a lot and 2 people didn't. So I think it was a great idea that kind of had some flaws in it, in the core concept. But needless to say, both Forgecraft 1 and Forgecraft 2 are going to get reset. Now, Forgecraft 1 isn't supposed to reset as often. It is every 3 months, every 4 months, basically. Once there's options for a reset and nobody's really playing anymore, then they'll reset it. But as long as people are using the server, it might stay up for months and months and months. Forgecraft 2 is supposed to reset every month or every other month. I can't remember. It's either 30 or 60 days. It resets much more often than Forgecraft 1. And that's intentional. That way they can reset, test out new, more radical mods, stuff like this, beta versions, and so on and so forth. So they can be a bit more kind of loosey-goosey, more messy with it. But Forgecraft 2 resets so quickly, normally. Technically, we're way overdue right now because Forgecraft 1 is occupied with Agrarian Skies. But Forgecraft 2 resets so quickly that it's not really optimal for getting a real Let's Play up and going. Not really. My progress has been very abbreviated on Forgecraft 2 between the stability problems, between some of the mods that we had tweaked and included, we're probably not going to have, I hope we don't have, but a lot of people have said we're not going to have iguana tweaks next time. There's some more hardcore stuff that's not going to be included because people got tired of it. So I think Forgecraft 1 is probably going to be tuned closer to my liking. It's probably going to be at a pace closer to my liking. So I'm going to move over to Forgecraft 1 when it resets, and I'm going to camp there. I've already got an idea for a base. I think it's going to be clever, hopefully, and I'm going to work from that point. The general kind of consensus of things is that both those servers are going to reset around the 1st. We'll see what happens with 2, but I'm going to move over to Forgecraft 1 and focus on that. But that's still a couple weeks off. That's first week of August, most likely. Let's see, what else? I have the next couple of games lined up for the second channel. Once I get through all the classes on Skyforge, and then when Dishonored finishes, I am going to start up Alien Isolation. I am going to do face cam up in the corner, probably over here. I started watching Markiplier's playthrough of it. Why is my nose so itchy? I started watching Markiplier's playthrough of it, and really got inspired by the game. Really thought it could be fun. I'm going to record it at night. I'm going to try and get the lighting as low as possible. I don't know how visible my face is going to be without this light on, with just my monitor. I'm going to have to see. I might have to, I don't know, underlight, or I'm going to wing it. But basically, Alien Isolation is going to be after Dishonored. I am going to face cam it. I'm going to intentionally record it at night after the wife goes to bed, so it's dark, it's spooky, and we'll see what happens from there. Let me think. After Transistor finishes, I'm going to start up the Guild of Dungeoneering. I think it could be very, very fun. I think it's kind of like Darkest Dungeon, in that you're basically starting an adventurer's guild, and or a town, I guess, in Darkest Dungeon, and you're upgrading it and then giving amenities to these adventurers you lure in and send into the nearby dungeons. And it is kind of this game where you're supposed to send in waves of disposable heroes until you finally hit it upon a combination that conquers the dungeon. And you get more gold every time you send adventurers in and to these dungeons, and you get more, trophies and stuff like this that you can put in your trophy room. And you upgrade your guild for more amenities to make it to where you have a bigger selection of heroes. They have better selection of loot, etc., etc. It's kind of a cycle. I think it could be a fun game to just kind of mess with. So I'm probably going to do, when Transistor finishes, I'm probably going to go into Guild of Dungeoneering. When Dishonored finishes, I'm going to go to Alien Isolation. Dragon Age Origins, the views on it are dipping a little bit, and it's already at episode 40. And I'm not even like a third of the way into the game, I don't think. This game could easily go to 100, 120 episodes, and that worries me, because the longer into a series it gets, then the less likely you are to pick up new people to it. And that's a problem. Like my single-player series right now, Vaygrim's Chance, it's at episode 120? Something? Hang on a sec. I gotta look it up. I'm curious. But let's go with there. 124. I recorded episode 124 of Vaygrim's Chance Season 2 on Monday. And I have at least another 15 episodes in me. So it's going to go to 140 easily, if not 150. And now I've got people that are specifically telling me, well, they tuned out for a few episodes. They're about 20 or 40 episodes behind, and they don't want to have to go figure out. Or some people just now found me, and they don't want to, they're starting over from the season, basically, and watching through. But I know some people that watched up to episode 20 or 30 or 50 even, and then stopped for a little while because they got busy. Real life took over and intervened. And they're coming back, and they've missed like 70 episodes, and it's like, what the hell? They don't want to have to go figure out where they... So it's kind of a dicey situation. It's weird. The longer a series runs, the less likely you are to get new viewers to it. So there is going to have to be a point where I'm either going to have to cut Dragon Age Origins short, or try and see how soon I can get to Endgame and still finish that. Because I can't do all the side quests. I can't do all the content. That game's too big. So that is a concern. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Later in the year, I'd like to get Dragon Age Inquisition, but I think I'd have to buy it off Origin, and I don't like dealing with Origin. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I can get it on Steam. I'll have to look. Let me think what else has been going on. That's been the big high point. Oh, a couple of weeks ago. I'll end with this. A couple of weeks ago, I made this kind of flippant off-the-cuff comment about me needing a group of like-minded gamers, wanting a league of ordinary gamers, so to speak. The context of that was the fact that it can get lonely being a casual scrub sometimes. I don't know as many people that are willing to, or at least will admit that they would rather play a game on easy so they can experience the story than play it on normal, hit burnout, or not be able to finish it. I'm more than happy setting a game on easy, or maybe normal, but easy, so that I am ensured to be able to see as much of the storyline as possible, so I can survive to the end, and maintain enjoyment. I don't like PvP. It's not me. PvP makes people angry. Now, within certain contexts, PvP is okay. Games like Dirty Bomb, or like Team Fortress Classic, or like Overwatch. Those are quick games. Matches are 5 minutes or less. RoboCrap is very similar. Games are 5 minutes or less, probably 3 minutes or less most times. They're over very fast. Feelings get hurt, and then you get over them, and you move on to the next match very quickly. So that works, but in games like Ark Survival Evolved, I will admit I'm actually intrigued by that game. I kind of want to play it, but I don't want to play PvP. I don't want to play on a normal rules server. My friend Ace actually plays, he has an Ark server that he runs that's got tweaked rules where it takes less time to train dinos. I don't want to have to devote 3 hours to training one dinosaur that's going to disappear in a couple hours because of a bug. That doesn't seem like fun to me. But they've recently made it to where you can set up a server and tweak the rules and make things a little easier, make things a little simpler. I know somebody that's running a PvE server, so, maybe, but I don't have the money to buy it right now. Especially since I bought Alien Isolation a couple of days earlier this morning for $13, and I shouldn't have. But it was 70% off. It's one of those points where it's like, I have to get it. But whatever. Yeah, it can get lonely, kind of, not having a lot of people that have similar tastes in game or similar tastes in game difficulty settings. And I do kind of crave that like-mindedness, a community to call my own, a league of ordinary gamers. And the league is actually becoming a thing. We actually have a 7-page document now that's planning out like community events and giveaways and donations and officers and rules and regulations and structure and how we're going to set up the forums and artwork and yada, yada, yada. Cross-promotion, self-promotion, getting people to meet up and coordinate for games and whatnot. Me and Shad, IA7X Shadows, have been brainstorming in a Google Word doc for the better part of a week and a half now. I've commissioned some artwork for a logo. We're probably going to reboot my forums here in a little bit on my website because nobody's using them, and repurpose them for League forums. And it's going to turn into a thing, a kind of a guild, so to speak, a clan of casual scrubs. We'll see where it goes. A lot of people, they comment in that video, and a lot of people chimed in and said, I would join that group. And that really opened my eyes. It really made me wonder, is there something to this? And very, very soon, probably by mid to late August, we'll be able to find out if there is. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to call it a night. It's late. I need to still throw this in the renderer and then upload it to YouTube. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good evening. Bye.